This show, for your information, as you can see, goes back in around 1880 when it was supposed to be. It was written in the 30s, so it's been a fun show for us to do. It's been a real challenge for us to handle this in such a limited facility that we have. But the cast has really come through great, and our prop people, as you'll see, all the things that take place in here with all the props and everything is in the thousands, believe it or not, with the dresses and the things and all the dishes and the knives and forks and spoons and everything that moves. So you watch what takes place during this lamp. Now those of you who are young can't appreciate what it used to be like. So with the lamp like it is here now, when the lights go out, you'll see what they used to live with. And these lamps, this, by the way, is over 100 years old. It was in my family. And you can pull it down over the tabletop, and that's about what they have. You can turn it up a little bit, but we don't like to have it. So it'll give you a kind of a fun thing. The coil oil smell, we want it to make you feel like you're right back in 1880. So just enjoy it. You'll soon get used to it. It won't bother you. Okay? Now, we always have a show here every Monday, Friday, and Saturday night. Come right in, folks. Come right in. Is this the one I get to kiss right here? Okay. But we want to thank you for being here tonight. Now, on Monday, Friday, and Saturday night, without an exception, we have a show. Now, next Monday night will be the last time that this show will be shown here at the Valley Center Playhouse. So if you have some friends and you think they would like to come, you better tell them to get here. It always happens. We get the phone calls, is it going to run another week? Or I wanted to see it. Are you going to hold it over? Well, we rarely hold them over. So we always try to have a new show every single month. But because we have another show that we're putting together, which is called, many of you are familiar with Ernest Borgnine, which made him famous with a show called Marty. Well, this has been put to music by a very talented individual in Utah County by the name of Jim Lambert, and the music that he has with this is extremely excellent. It's a show we did in the old theater in Provo, and it was greatly a success for us. And so we wanted to bring it back. We brought it back now, and for your information, if you don't know what that story is about, it's about a couple, a boy and a girl who are just a little older. They haven't found companionship yet, so they go to this dance with companions, and both of their companions go off and leave them, and here they are alone at this dance hall, and lonely and happy, like a lot of us have been in our lives, and they meet. And lo and behold, the sparks of love start finding their way into the hearts of each of them. They go home, and neither family will accept the other's partner. So that's another set of problems. So, but it's a beautiful love story that you will really remember. And the music is, I can't express myself elegant enough to encourage you to come and see it, because it is excellent. And the people that have seen it before are really excited about coming back and seeing it, because it is a great show. And it's one of the shows that will really bring tears to your eyes. It will make you remember, and you'll go out of here with love in your heart. And that's what we try to do. And all the things that we do here, we don't like to have you leave and trying to figure out what we've been doing here for a couple of hours. So you'll have, as you see tonight, you'll know the answer when you get to the end. So we really like to have you here tonight. Now, the week, next Friday night, and Saturday night, and Monday night, to give this other cast, because it is a musical, another week to get going, because we were some problems that we had getting started. We're going to do my wife's one-woman show on Emma Smith. Now, she has performed that show about 250 times. Last summer, she performed it back in Nauvoo with the Smith family reunion. So those of you who have seen it, if you want to come and see it again, fine. If not, again, I say, come and see a one-woman show in the round. Now, this will be the first time that we've done it in the round. Usually we have a presidium stage for it, but it's a challenge to us to do it. We feel good about it. We think we got all the little bugs worked out of the program, so we'll always have something every Monday, Friday, and Saturday night. So next Friday, Saturday, and Monday only, we will run a one-woman show on Emma Smith, and it's a good show. Now, may I ask, how many of you have seen that show? Oh, Peggy, yeah, okay, did you like it? I hope you'll say it. I don't want to ask what you did. But anyway, we want to welcome you here to the Valley Center Theater. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Annie. And how are you getting along?
All right, Mom, I hope.
Now, don't be nervous. Just because this is your first day, everything will go just fine. I do hope nothing goes wrong. Now, let's check the tape. Oh, the cream and sugar go down at this end, Annie.
I thought in the center, Mom. Everyone could reach them easier.
Mr. Dave sits here.
I didn't know where to place the napkins, Mom.
You can tell which go where by the ring. Now, you see, this one is Whitney's. It has his initials on it, W. And this one with the little dog on is Harlan. He's the baby, of course. And the J is for John. And the C is for Clarence. They sit here. And this plain one is mine. And this one is just like mine. It's Mr. Dave's. It's just like mine, except that it got bent one morning. Which reminds me, Annie, always make certain that Mr. Dave's coffee is piping hot.
Your man has coffee instead of tea in the morning?
Annie, always refer to my husband as Mr. Dave.
I will that.
And if he should speak to you, just say, yes, sir. Oh, don't be nervous. You'll get used to him.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, dear.
Did you sleep well, Mother?
Yes, thank you.
Good.
Now, we always start with the fruit, Annie, except the two younger boys who have their cereal.
Jiminy, another wreck on the New Haven. That always disturbs the stock market. Father won't like that.
I do wish that New Haven would stop having wrecks. If they only knew how to upset your father. Mercy, what happened to your coat?
Oh, I tore it. Margaret mended it for me.
Well, it looks terrible. Why don't you wear your blue one?
That looks worse than this one. You know I burned a hole in it.
Well, you can't go around looking like that. I'll have to speak to your father. Oh, dear.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, John.
Who won?
I haven't looked yet.
Well, let me see.
Be careful.
Now, boys, don't wrinkle the paper before your father's had a chance to see it.
Yes.
You'd better get started, Annie. I want everything to be ready when Mr. Day comes down. Clarence, after breakfast, I'd like you and John to go upstairs to my room and move that small bureau into yours.
Why? Who's coming?
Who's coming?
Well, I didn't say anyone was coming. Don't you say a thing about it. I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, Father doesn't know yet.
No, and I think I'd better tell him about the new suit for you before he finds out he's being surprised by visitors.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, dear.
Who won? The Giants, 7-3. Buck Ewing hit a home run. Let me see. Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, darling. And how's that finger?
It itches.
Well, that's a sign it's getting better. And don't you scratch it. Take your places, boys. Get in your chair, darling. Now, Annie, you watch Mr. Day, and as soon as he's finished with his fruit...
Vinny! Vinny!
Yes, Claire, dear?
Where's my necktie?
Which necktie?
The one I gave you yesterday.
Oh, I forgot to give it to Margaret. It isn't pressed yet.
I distinctly remember giving you that so I could wear it for today.
Well, you have plenty of neckties. Just put on another one and come down right away to breakfast.
Oh, confound it!
Whitney!
Whitney, you wait for your father.
But I'm in a hurry, John. Why use your baseball? I'm going to business today. If I don't play myself. Look, if you need it, we're playing on the corner of 57th Street.
Way up there.
They're building a house on the vacant lot on 50th.
My. We move all the way to 48 just to get out of the city.
Can I start breakfast, Mother? I promised to be there by 8 o'clock.
Whitney, you know after breakfast you have to study your catechism.
Mother, can I do that this afternoon?
You have to learn 5 new questions every morning before you leave the house.
Mother.
You weren't very good about it last evening when I heard you.
I know them now.
Well, let's see. What is your name?
Whitney Benjamin.
Who gave you this name?
My sponsors in baptism. Mother, if I haven't been baptized, wouldn't I have a name?
Not in the side of the church. What did your sponsors then do for you?
They did promise and vow 3 things in my name.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning,
Good morning,
sir.
sir.
Good morning, Vinny.
Good morning, dear.
Did you have a good night?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Now sit down, boys.
doorbell, Eddie. That new suit looks very nice on you, Claire.
Well, the pants are too tight. What's the matter with those fellows over in London? Why, I wrote them over a year ago. They were making my clothes too tight.
Well, you have put on a little weight.
I still weigh the same, always have. What's that, the mail? That goes to me.
Clarence has just managed to tear the only decent suit of clothes he has.
Vinny, here's one for you. John, hand that to your mother.
I'm sorry, Claire, dear, but I'm afraid that we will have to buy Clarence a new suit of clothes.
Well, Clarence is just going to have to learn to take better care of his clothes.
But Father, I thought,
Clarence, when you enter Yale this fall, I've set aside $1,000 to outfit you. But you'll receive no new clothes this summer.
but can't I have one of your old suits made over for me?
My suits still have plenty of wear left in them. And I wear my clothes until they're worn out.
Oh, if you want your clothes worn out, Clarence can do a much better job than you can.
Yes, and you don't get a chance to wear them out. Every time you get a new batch of clothes, Mother sends the old ones to the missionary bureau. I guess I'm just as good as any old missionary.
Now, before you compare yourself to a missionary, Clarence, you remember the sacrifices they made.
Well, I don't know, Vinny. I think my clothes will look just as well on Clarence as on some Hottentot. Hey, Clarence, have that black suit of mine made over to fit you before your mother gets her hands on it.
Thank you, Father. See one of Father's suits. Thank you, sir.
Wendy, quit eating so fast.
But I'm going to pitch today. I promised to get there early. But before I go, I have to study catechism.
Now, what do you want to bother with a thing like that for?
Why, Claire, if he doesn't know his catechism, he can't be confirmed.
But I'm going to pitch today.
Vinny, Whitney's going to pitch today. He can be confirmed any old time.
Claire, sometimes I think you don't care whether your children get to heaven or not.
Whitney will get to heaven all right. Matter of fact, Whitney, I'm going to get there before you do. And I'll see that you get in.
What makes you so certain they'll let you in?
Well, if they don't, I'll make a devil of a row.
Claire, I do hope you'll behave yourself when you get to heaven.
Vinny, how many times have I told you not to engage a maid who doesn't know how to serve properly?
Claire, can't you see she's new and doing her best?
Well, how does she expect me to serve myself with that platter above my head?
And why don't you hold it lower?
Where did she come from anyway? What happened to the one we had yesterday? I don't know why you can't keep a maid around here.
Oh, you don't?
All I want is service. Whitney, when we get to heaven, we'll form a baseball team for ourselves.
It would be just like you to try and run things up there, Clarence Gage.
Well, from what I know about heaven, it's a pretty unbusinesslike place. Why, they could probably use a good man like me.
What are you stamping for Margaret for, Claire?
What's that noise?
It's Annie.
Annie? Annie who?
The maid.
What did I do now?
Oh, Claire, aren't you ashamed of yourself speaking to her the way you did?
I never said a word to her. I was just merely addressing myself to you.
Claire, I do wish you'd be more careful. Maids are hard enough to get now, and the uniforms just fit that one. What's wanted?
Margaret, this bacon is good. It's done just right. It's good.
Yes, sir. Claire, this letter has given me a good idea. Next winter, I don't believe I'll get a series of dinners.
Well, I certainly hope not.
I'm going to get a big music hall instead.
A what?
A music hall, dear.
Vinny, I'm not going to have my peaceful home turned into some Roman arena with a bunch of hairy fiddlers prancing about.
Claire, I didn't say anything about hairy fiddlers. Mrs. Spiller writes that this lovely young girl will come for very little.
And what instrument does this inexpensive paragon play?
But she doesn't play, Claire. She whistles.
Whistles.
She whistles 13 pieces, all for $25.
Well, I'm not going to pay $25 to listen to some human peanut stand.
Now, Claire, I can arrange this so it won't cost you a penny. Now, if we invite 50 people and I charge them 50 cents apiece, there's your $25.
Vinny, we can't invite guests to our home and then charge them an admission.
I can if it's for the missionary fund.
And how are we going to pay her for her whistling?
Oh, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And when we do cross it, it's going to cost me $25. Now, Vinny, I've got to be firm about that musicale. Just like I've had to be firm about visiting relatives at our home. Why can't we live here in peace and comfort?
Is everything all right, sir?
Margaret, what is this?
It's coffee, sir.
It is not coffee. I can't see how you can take coffee, beans, and water and come up with that. Why, it's slops. That's what it is, slops. Take it away, I tell you.
Mine is perfectly fine. Leave it right there.
It is not. I can't see how she can concoct such an atrocity. Why, I come down to this breakfast table every morning hungry.
Well, if you're hungry, Claire, why aren't you eating your breakfast?
What?
If you're hungry, why aren't you eating your breakfast?
Oh, I am. Harlan, how's that finger doing? Come on over here, let me take a look at it. My, it's healing nicely, isn't it? Now, see that scab? Don't pick at it, it'll leave scars. And we don't want scars on our fingers, do we? Now, next time, remember that cats don't like to be hugged. It's okay to stroke them, but don't squeeze them. Now, go back and eat your oatmeal.
But I don't like oatmeal.
Oh, it's good for you. Go back and eat it.
But I don't like it.
Oh, I'll tell you what you like and what you don't like. You're too young to know about such things. You know business not to eat your oatmeal. Now go back and eat it at once.
But I hate it.
I've had enough of this discussion. Go eat it at once.
I finished my breakfast, Father. May I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused, Whitney.
Thank you, sir.
Now pitch a good game.
I will.
Whitney?
I'll go upstairs and study my darling.
That's right, darling. Run along.
Harlan, you better hurry up and finish your breakfast if you want to come with me.
Another full letter.
What is it, Claire?
Dear friend Dave, we are assigning you the exclusive right to Staten Island to make a house-to-house canvas selling the gem home popper for popper.
I think that's for me, Father.
Then why did they address it to you? Oh, they did. I'm sorry, Clarence, for opening your mail.
I wouldn't get mixed up with that if I were you, Clarence. People like popcorn, but they won't go clear to Staten Island for it.
Chauncey Depew's having another birthday.
How nice.
Yes, he always has 2 or 3 a year. Good heavens! Another wreck on the New Haven.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me, Mrs. Bailey came to call last evening.
Was she in the wreck?
No, she was born in New Haven. Oh, Clarence, you're having tea with Edith Bailey on Thursday afternoon.
Oh, Mother, do I have to?
Well, Edith Bailey's a very nice girl, isn't she, Claire?
Oh, Edith Bailey, I don't like her. I can't say as I blame Clarence.
Clarence, would you and John run up and do what I asked you to do?
You said the small girl, Mother?
Run along.
Whitney!
If you please, Mom, there's a parcel with a dollar Jew on it. It's the kitchen knives.
Oh, yes, those knives from Lewis and Conger's. Here, Margaret, give this dollar to the man.
Vinny, make a memorandum of that and write down what it was for.
Claire, dear, I'm afraid I'm going to need some more money.
What for?
Well, you were complaining about the coffee this morning, and that nice French drip coffee pot got broken. Of course, you know how it got broken.
Never mind that. As I recall, that coffee pot cost $5 or something. Here, I'll give you $6, and when you get back, write down the exact amount in the ledger.
Thank you, dear.
Vinny, we can't go on month after month with our household accounts in such a mess.
No, and Claire, I thought of a system that would make my bookkeeping perfect.
Well, I'm certainly relieved to hear that. What is it?
Well, you know, you never make half a fuss over how much I spent as you do over my not being able to remember what I spent it for.
Exactly. That's why I insist on you keeping good books.
Well, that's the whole point, Claire. Now, all we have to do is open charge accounts everywhere.
Now, just a minute, Vinny.
Yours will do my bookkeeping for me. When the bills came in, you would know exactly where the money had gone.
They certainly would. I get enough bills around here as it is.
But they always help. You know where the money has gone. Now, dear, just open charge accounts everywhere.
Now, Vinny.
Claire, don't you hate having those arguments we have every month? I know, I certainly do. Not to have those, I would think, would be worth something to you.
Oh, all right, Vinny. We'll open up accounts at Lewis and Conger's and one of McCreary's, and we'll see how that goes.
Thank you,
the rector, I'm glad you warned me. I'll go to the club and don't expect me home until dinner.
Claire, I do wish you'd take church a little more serious.
Oh, Benny, getting me to heaven is your job. If there's anything wrong with my ticket when I get there, I'm sure you can fix it up.
Well, I'll do my best, because it just wouldn't be heaven without you.
Oh, Benny, if you're there, I'll manage to get in somehow, even if I have to climb the fence.
Mother, we moved it. Is there anything else?
What's being moved?
Oh, never mind, Claire. I'm coming, John. Claire, dear, it's very late. You don't want to be late for the office.
Oh, still plenty of time. Good heavens!
What's the matter? What is it?
Why are there so many fools and Democrats?
Politics.
Yes, but they're taking the bread right out of our mouths. It's robbery, that's what it is. Highway robbery. Honest Hugh Grant, honest Bob. What a fine mayor you've turned out to be. Why, if you can't run this city for 5 minutes without raising our taxes, why, you better step aside and let someone who can. The real estate owners aren't going to tolerate this much longer. Quit plundering the pocketbooks of the citizens of this city. Why, we're going to toss you and your boodle board development out of office.
Eddie, what?
Now you tell me this.
Mr.
Those
Davis,
improvements, taxes going in, improvements are going to Kraft. I strongly suspect Kraft. Honest Hugh Grant, honest Bob.
Right away.
I pay you a good sum to look after our interests. All we get around here is inefficiency. Now, I know you're a nincompoop, and I strongly suspect you're being a scallywag too.
do you know where John is?
Mother, where's John?
Oh, he's upstairs, dear.
Now, Dick Croker is running this city.
John,
Just merely his cat's paw.
take baseball.
Yeah, where are you, Mr.
Don't
Kroger?
forget to
You
bring
think
it
that
back
you
either. I won't.
Hide behind those millions you place in the public office. Escape your legal responsibilities. Why
Don't
do
be
you...
late for lunch.
Legal responsibilities, but
You should have
Again.
told me long ago.
criminal responsibilities. Don't forget what happened to Marcy Tweed. And if you raise our taxes one more time, we're going to place you in a jail.
What happened? What's the matter?
I think the maid fell.
Oh, I don't wonder with your father upsetting herself. And why couldn't she have cleared the table before she fell?
I don't think she hurt herself.
Boys, will you please clear the table, and Clarence, don't leave the house until you talk to me.
What do you suppose Mother wants to talk to you about?
Oh, probably about Edith Bailey.
What do you talk about when you have tea alone with the girl?
Well, we don't talk about anything. I say, isn't it a nice day? She says yes. And then I say, it's a bit warmer than yesterday. And she says, yes, I like warm days, don't you? And I say yes. And then we wait for tea to come in. And then she says, how many lumps? And I say 2. And she says, oh, you must have a sweet tooth. And I can't say yes and I can't say no. So we just sit and stare at one another for half an hour. And then I say, it's time I was leaving. And she says, must you? And I say, I've enjoyed seeing you. And I say, I'll have to come back again. And then I get out.
Some fellows like girls.
I don't.
Have you ever noticed when a guy gets sweet on a girl, the things she can make him do without him even realizing that he's doing it?
Well, not for yours truly.
Julie, I've never seen anything so clumsy in my life.
Did she hurt herself?
No, she isn't hurt. She's just hysterical. She doesn't even make sense. Well, I know your father may have raised his voice a little, and if she didn't know how to hold a platter properly, she deserved it. But I know he didn't threaten to put her in jail. Anyway, Clarence, I want you to move your things into the boys' room. You're going to be staying there for a few days.
You haven't told us who's coming.
Oh, Cousin Cora, isn't that nice?
It's not nice for me. I can't get any sleep in there with those other children.
There's gonna be a rumpus when Father finds out.
Now, don't you be disrespectful of your father. He's really very hospitable. Once he gets used to the idea.
Look, it's Cousin Cora, and there's somebody with her.
She wrote me she was bringing a friend, and they're both going to stay here. Now, you boys, finish your room quickly.
Mother, do I have to have tea with Edith Bailey and sleep with the other boys all in the same week?
Yes, and you'd better get that soup down to the taters of your father, so it'll be ready by Thursday. Cora! Cousin Vinny, how are you? glad to see you. My, how you've grown. You'll be a man before your mother.
Donna, this is Mary. How do you do? This is Mary's first trip to New York. Oh, Benny, I have so much to tell you. We rode to Aunt Carrie broke her hip. That was the night Robert Ingersoll lectured. Of course she couldn't get there. It was a good thing for Mr. Ingersoll she didn't. And Grandpa Evans says it didn't all well.
I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Hello, Cousin Cora. I'm glad to see you.
This can't be clear.
Yes, it is.
My goodness, every time I see you boys, you've grown another foot. Let's see, you're attending St. Paul's now, aren't you?
St. Paul's. I was through at St. Paul's long ago. I'll be starting at Yale this fall.
Yale? Oh, Mary, this is Clarence. Mary Skinner. How do you do? This is Mary's first trip to New York. She was so excited.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll make certain that Mary sees something of New York. I'll have Mr. Day take us all to Delmonico's for dinner tonight.
Delmonico? Oh, that's marvelous. Think of that, Mary. Delmonico's and Cousin Claire's such a wonderful host.
Well, I know you want to freshen up. Just come right upstairs.
Is it the room on the right?
The same little room.
Oh, yes, I know.
Clarence, will you get the girls' bag? They're out in the hall. And dear, I'll let you come up as soon as the girls have finished changing.
John, get their old bags.
Cora didn't tell me about you. I've never met a Yale man before.
To honor his holy name and his word and to serve him truly all the days of my life.
And what is thy duty toward thy neighbor?
My duty toward my neighbor is to love him as myself and to treat all men as I would that they should do unto me. To love, honor, and succor my mother and father. Honor my birthday.
Civil authorities.
Civil authorities to.
He really knows it.
And almost leave the others.
He's done very well for such a young boy. I'm sure that if he applies himself between now and next Sunday, I shall be able to hear him again with the others.
Isn't that nice, Whitney? You'll have to work very hard in order to be ready for Dr. Lloyd to turn in your name to Bishop Potter. I must confess, Dr. Lloyd, that instead of letting him say his catechism to me this morning, I let him play baseball.
1, 2, 35 to 27.
Excellent, my child. I'm glad your side won. But winning over your catechism is a richer and fuller victory.
You may go now, Whitney, but thank Dr. Lloyd for hearing you.
Thank you, Dr. Lloyd.
Not at all, my young man.
Little Harlan here is very apt to learning things by heart.
I can speak Constantinople. Want to hear me?
Constantinople?
Yes, sir. C-O-M-P and
Very well done, my child.
That was very nice, Harlan. And for saying it so well, this is what you get.
Oh, what can you say it did for you?
No, dear. One cake is enough. Now you run along and play with Whitney.
I can spell it pie.
Run along, dear.
You and Mr. Day must be very proud of your children.
Yes, we are.
I was hoping to find Mr. Day at home this afternoon.
Well, he's usually home at this time.
Well, perhaps he's gone for a gallop in the park. It's such a fine day. I understand he is fond of horseback riding.
Oh, yes, he is.
Has Mr. Day ever been thrown from a horse?
Oh, no. No horse with ropes today.
Well, I had wondered if he might have had an accident. I notice he never kneels in church.
Oh, that's no accident. Although I don't want you to think Mr. Day doesn't pray. He does. Why, some days you can hear him pray all over the house. But he never kneels.
He never kneels. Dear me. Well, I had hoped to tell you, Mr. Day, about our plans for the new edifice.
I'm so delighted we're going to have a new church.
Yes, I am pleased to announce that we are ready to proceed. All that's left is to raise the money.
Well, no one should hesitate about contributing to that.
No, I
Good
don't-
heavens, I forgot.
Claire, Dr. Lloyd is here for tea.
I'll be right there.
I'll just ring for some more tea.
Now we can tell Mr. Day about our plans for the new edifice.
Yes, after he's had his tea.
How are you, Dr. Lloyd?
Very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to see you again.
They're not back yet?
Except for a brief glimpse on the Sabbath, I don't get much of a chance to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Some fresh tea for Mr. Day. Well, Claire, did you have a busy day at the office?
Oh, a devil of a busy day.
Oh.
Busy, I'm tired.
He comes home so tired from the office every day. Poor Mr. Day, he just must work so hard, although how anyone can get tired just sitting at a desk all day. Wall Street is just as much a mystery to you, Dr. Lloyd, as it is to me.
Oh, no, it's quite clear to me. My mind often goes to the businessman. My favorite picture of him is when I envisage him at the end of his busy day. There he sits, this hard-headed man of affairs, surrounded by the ledgers, which he has studied closely and harshly for hours. I see him pause in his labors and glance up, and by chance he looks through the window and sees the light in God's sky. And it comes over him that money and ledgers are dross, that these figures he studied of profit and loss are without importance or consequence, vanity and dust. I see this troubled man bow his head. With streaming eye, he resolves to devote himself to higher things.
I'll be. Who's this?
The new maid.
What happened to the one we had this morning?
Never mind, Claire.
The one we had this morning was prettier. Hey, these cakes are good.
Oh yes, delicious.
Well, Claire, Dr. Lloyd has come this afternoon to tell us about the plans for the new edifice.
The new what?
Well, the new church, Claire. You know, we were planning to build a new church.
We're going to have to raise quite a sum of money, of course.
Well, personally, I'm against the church hop, skipping, and jumping all over town. Why, matter of fact, last year I suffered heavy losses in the market. Confound heavy losses. Well, the only contribution I'm going to make is going to have to be a small one.
Claire, for so worthy a cause.
And if your finance committee thinks it's too small, why, they can blame the rascals for running the New Haven.
Well, actually, Mr. Day, the amount to be subscribed by each member has already been determined.
And who decided?
Well, after careful consideration, we decided that each contributing member, well, we came up with a plan that was fair and equitable, we felt. The proportions were lightly on those least able to bear it, and more firmly on those whose shoulders we know are stronger. We voted and determined that each contributing member should contribute a sum equal to the cost of his pew.
My pew cost $5,000.
Yes, Claire, and our contribution is $5,000.
That's robbery. You know what that pew's worth now? $3,000. That's what the last one sold for. Boy, I've taken a dead loss of $2,000 already on that pew. That Frank Baggs knew when to sell that pew right when it reached the peak of the market. I'm warning you, Vinny. If the market ever goes up, I'm unloading that pew.
How can you speak of the temple of the Lord as though it were something to be bought and sold on Wall Street?
Well, it's a matter of dollars and cents. And that's something you know very little about.
Well, you're speaking of the religion in terms of dollars and cents seems to me pretty close to blasphemy.
Now, Mrs. Day, your husband is a businessman and he has to be practical about this sort of thing. But we have had to be practical. After all, we have all the facts and figures.
Well, how much is the property going to cost you?
Well, now let's see. I've heard that figure somewhere. I believe it was 85,000. Or was it 185,000?
How much is your present property worth?
Well, there's a great difference of opinion on that question.
Now, how much do you have to raise for the church?
Well, now let's see. I've heard that also. I believe it has a great deal to do with the amount of the mortgage.
The mortgage, and what are the terms of the amortization?
Amortization? That's not a term I'm familiar with.
Well, it all seems very vague to me. Why can have any of my business associates invest on what I've heard here today?
Well, I don't see how you could call it vague. We've given it a great deal of thought.
Dr. Lloyd, you preached that someday we'll have an answer to our mayor.
Indeed we shall.
Well, I hope he doesn't ask you any questions with figures then.
Oh, Vinny, what a day!
Laura! What are you doing in New York?
Oh, we're just passing through on our way to Springfield.
We?
Yes, Dr. Lloyd, I'd like you to meet my favorite cousin, Miss Cartwright, and her friend, Mary Skinner.
Well, how do you do? Well, this seems to be a family reunion. I'll just be on my way.
Goodbye, Dr. Lloyd.
Clarence, you haven't said how do you do to Dr. Lloyd.
Goodbye, Dr. Lloyd.
Well, goodbye, Miss Cartwright and Miss
Yes.
Skinner.
I'll just see you to the door, Dr. Lloyd.
Cora, what a pleasant surprise. Why don't you stay and have some tea with us? Bring some more tea and some more of those cakes.
Oh, no, Claire, we had to be down in town. We were so tired shopping. At the Fifth Avenue Hotel.
At the Fifth Avenue Hotel. Who do you say this pretty young girl is?
She said Skinner's daughter, well married last year, Mr. Day. I've told her so much about your cousin, Claire, that she's just been dying to meet you.
Well, even though you've had your tea, why don't you sit down and visit for a while? Matter of fact, why did you stay for dinner?
Oh, why, Claire, that's all been arranged.
Well, that's fine.
Laura and Mary are having dinner with us tonight.
Yes, we don't know how to thank you and Vinny for your hospitality. Yes, Mr. Day.
Well, you just have to have potluck.
No, I mean that we're going to
Oh, Claire, did you know the girls are going to stay for a whole month with Aunt Judith in Springfield?
A whole month? Well, splendid. How long are you going to be in New York, Cora?
all week.
Splendid. We'll be able to see something of you then.
Why, we're going
Oh,
to stay.
Claire, did you find anything at the shop?
Oh,
I can hardly wait to see them.
Oh, well, I can't wait to show you, but I'm afraid some of these packages can't be opened in front of Cousin Claire.
Oh, would you like me to leave the room?
Oh, Clarence, will you take these packages up to our room? Or should I say your room? Wouldn't it nice of Clarence to give up his room to us for a whole week?
Cora, I can hardly wait to see what you've got.
I can't wait to
right
show
upstairs.
Vinny, before you go upstairs.
Oh, I'll be down in a minute, dear.
Vinny, I would like to speak with you now.
Be up in a minute, Cora.
All right.
Vinny, are these two women encamped in this house? Answer me, Vinny. Answer me now.
Calm yourself, Claire. Now, you know that you've always been fond of Cousin Cora.
What does that have to do with her planking herself down and bringing with her hordes of strangers?
How can you call that sweet little girl a horde of strangers?
Oh, put them in a hotel. New York is full of hotels, built for the express purpose of housing such nuisances.
Man, two women alone in a hotel? What knows what might happen to them?
Well, then put them on a train. They want to roam the gypsies, lend them a hand, keep them roaming.
What do we have this lovely home for if we can't show a little hospitality?
I didn't buy this home to show hospitality. I bought it for my own comfort.
Well, now, how much can those two women interfere with your comfort, living upstairs in that little room of Clarence?
The trouble is they don't live there. They live in the bathroom. And every time I want to go take a bath, it's full of these giggling females washing their hair. For the time you take, why, you'd think they were the Seven Sutherland sisters. Now, put them in a hotel, get them out. I'll pay the old gladly, get them out.
Father, I'm afraid they can hear you.
Well, then shut the door.
You behave yourself. They're here and they're going to stay.
Why does this swarm of locusts always descend upon me without any warning? Confound it. Vinny. Dear Vinny. Confound it.
Father, can I go along with the rest of you to Delmonico's tonight?
What, Delmonico's?
Well, you're taking Mother Cora and Mary to Delmonico's for dinner.
I won't stand it. I won't have it. I won't have it. Am I to submit myself to this? Do I understand I'm not to be allowed to have dinner in my own home?
Oh, Claire, it'll do us both good. You need a change. It'll make you feel better.
Well, anytime I can't have dinner in my own home, then this house is for sale.
You can't have dinner here tonight because it is yours.
Well, then let's sell it. And we'll go live under a palm tree and eat breadfruit and pickles.
Claire, Mary and Cora simply want to see something in New York.
Oh, that's it. Well, that's no affair of mine. I'm not going to be a guide to Chinatown or the Bowery.
Oh, Mr. Day, I love your home. I could live here forever. Cora, sweetie, you can stay.
Thank you, Mary. I'll just run right up.
I'm glad you like our house.
Oh, yes, I like it very much. I like green.
Green's my favorite color.
Red's my favorite color.
It's an interesting thing about colors. Red's a nice color in a house, but outside too much red would be bad. I mean, for instance, if all the trees and the grass were red, outside green is the best color.
That's right. I never thought of it that way. But when you think of it, it's quite a thought. I bet you make your mark at Yale.
Oh.
Mother wants me to go to college. Do you believe in girls going to college?
Well, I think it's all right if they want to spend that much time before they get married. I mean.
Oh. Oh, hello. Hello. Look, it's a new used companion.
John enjoys his companions. John, won't you sit down, please?
Thank you.
Oh, as I was saying, I think it's all right for girls to go to college if she goes to a girls' college.
Well, Mother wants me to go to Ohio Wesleyan because it's Methodist. See, we're Methodists.
Oh, that's too bad. I don't mean it's too bad you're a Methodist. Well, anybody's got a right to be anything they want to be. What I mean is, we're Episcopalian.
Yes, I know. I've known ever since I saw you minister at his college. I just remembered. My father was an Episcopalian. He was baptized an Episcopalian, and he was an Episcopalian right up to the time he married my mother. She was the Methodist.
I bet your father's a nice man.
Oh, yes, he is. He owns the livery stable.
Oh, then you must like horses.
I love horses.
Horses are my favorite animal. Father and I both agree there's nothing like a horse.
Oh, Mr. Day, I'm having such a lovely time here.
Clarence keeping you entertained, eh?
Oh, yes, we've been talking about everything, colors, horses, and religion.
John, has the Evening Sun come yet?
No, sir.
What's that you're reading?
The used companion, sir. Look what we've got.
Well, what is it, Whitney?
Tiddlywinks. We put them right together in body.
Do you know how to play it?
I played it lots of times.
Tell me how to play it.
Okay, Harlan.
Are you going to dinner with us tonight?
I don't know yet, but it's beginning to look as though I might.
You just take this cup and this little fellow right here, and you try to get it in the cup. Oh, the table's too small. You boys better go play this on the floor.
Come on, Carl, and I'll take the reds and you take the others.
Don't say anything to Cousin Claire. I will too, Cora. Please, Cousin Vinny. Claire, guess what Cora just told me? She and Clyde are going to be married this fall.
Why, he's a lucky guy, Cora. Pleased for you. Marriage is the only way to live.
Well, we could be half as happy as you and Vinny are. Boys, shouldn't you be playing that on the table?
The table isn't big enough. Father told us to play on the floor.
My soul and body, look at those hands. And supper almost ready. Now you boys run and wash them and then come back and let Mother see they're clean. John, would you go with us?
Vinny, this young lady's about the same age as you were when I came to Pleasantville to rescue.
Rescue me. You came to talk me into marrying you.
Well, it worked out just the same. Why, I saved you from having to spend the rest of your life in that one-horse town.
Dora, the other day I ran across the tin pipe taken of Claire in Pleasantville. I'm going to show it to you, and then you will see who needed rescuing.
Now, Vinny, we haven't any time for that if we're all going to go to Delmonico's. It's after 6 o'clock now.
Gracious, I'll have to start. If I'm going to dine in public with a prominent citizen like you, Cousin Claire, I'll have to look my best. I'm changed already. Oh, yes, I know, Mary, but I'm afraid I'll have to have you come along and hook me up. Of course. Won't take a minute. You can come right back. Mr. Day,
Yes?
were you always an Episcopalian?
An Episcopalian?
Yes.
Why, I attended the Episcopal Church, yes.
But you weren't baptized Methodist or anything. You weren't baptized an Episcopalian.
Come to think about it, I never was baptized.
There. That isn't funny, joking about a subject like that.
Well, I'm not joking. I remember now, I never was baptized.
Oh, well, Claire, that's ridiculous. Everyone is baptized.
Well, I'm not.
Claire, who would keep a little child from being baptized?
Well, you know, Mother and Father, they were free thinkers. And they thought that we children ought to be able to decide those things for ourselves.
Claire.
Well, I suppose I gave some thought to it when I was 11 or 12, but I never got around to having it done to me.
Do you know what you're saying?
Saying I'm not baptized.
Well, then you've got to do something about it right away.
Well, Vinny, don't get excited over nothing.
nothing. I've never known anyone who wasn't baptized. Even savages in darkest Africa.
Well, it's okay for savages and children. But if an oversight was made in my behalf, why it's too late to correct it now?
Well, why haven't you ever told me?
Now, what difference does it make?
Because you're not a Christian. If you're not baptized.
Confound it, I am a Christian. And I'm a darn good Christian, too. Why, I'm a better Christian than those psalm-singing donkeys in church.
Don't you want to meet us all in heaven?
Well, of course I do, and I will.
Well, you can't unless you're baptized.
Oh, that's just a bunch of folderol.
Oh, Wednesday, don't you blaspheme like that. You are coming to church with me tomorrow before you go to the office and be baptized then and there.
Oh, Benny, don't be ridiculous. If you think I'm going to stand there and let some minister sprinkle water on me, why, at my age, you're mistaken.
But Claire...
Benny, I've had enough of this argument. I'm hungry and I'm going to go get dressed for dinner.
Mother, if Father was baptized, he hasn't any name. In the side of the church, he hasn't any name.
That's right. Maybe we're not even married.
Cousin Claudia, are you playing games until Vincent before you go?
I'm going to be busy packing until it's time to leave.
We can't play games on Sunday.
Oh, John, do you know where Mary and Clarence are? They dropped behind. Way behind.
Oh, Whitney, don't hang your coat up or your hat. I want you to run to Sherry's for ice cream for supper and take Harlan with you. Tell Mr. Sherry Strawberry could have it.
Oh, Vinny, I hate to leave. We've had such a lovely week.
Cora, what must you think of Claire? Making such a scene on the way out of church.
Oh, Cousin Claire probably thinks you put the rector after preaching that sermon.
Well, I had to go to Dr. Lloyd to find out if we were really married. The sermon on baptism was his own idea. Oh, if he just hadn't shouted so on the way out of church, now everyone knows he's never been baptized. But he's going to be, Cora. You mark my word, he's going to be. I just couldn't go to heaven without Claire. I get lonesome even when I go to Ohio.
Benny, the dinner table isn't set yet.
We're having dinner late today.
Well, you know I like my meals on time.
Well, the girls' train leaves at 1:30 and their cab is coming for them at 1 o'clock.
Trains when horse cars go right by our door?
They have all those heavy bags.
Well, Clarence and John could have helped them with the bags. Why, cabs cost a lot of money. Now, why didn't we have an early dinner?
There wasn't time for an early dinner in church, too.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this would have been a good day to have missed church.
Well, I wish they had.
I'll bet you put him up to preaching that
I've
sermon.
never been so mortified in all my life. You storming out of church that way, raising your voice at the top of your head.
Why, Lloyd didn't need to preach to me like I'm some criminal, and I wanted him to know it. And I didn't care whether the whole congregation knew it either.
Well, they certainly know it now.
Well, that suits me.
You just don't seem to understand what the church is for.
Well, Benny, if there's one thing that the church ought to leave alone, it's a man's soul.
Hey, don't you believe what it says in the Bible?
Of course, Benny, but a man has to use common sense when it comes to the Bible. That is, if he has any. Why, you would be in a pretty fix if I gave all my money to the poor.
Oh, well, that's just silly.
Now, Benny, speaking of money, where are this month's household bills?
Now, Claire, you know it's unfair to go over the household budget while you're hungry.
Now, Benny, where are those accounts?
They're upstairs on your desk. Oh, time. Cora, it's awfully hard on a woman to love a man like Claire so much.
Yes, men can be aggravating. Why gets me so provoked? We kept company for 6 years, but the minute he proposed, that is, from the moment I said yes, he began to take me for granted.
Well, you have to expect that. I don't believe Claire has told me he loved me since we've been married. Of course, I know he does, because I keep reminding him of it all the time. You have to keep reminding them, Cora.
Well,
Wasn't that sermon just splendid?
Yes, it was.
He's just about as good as the one back home.
That's Clara's Mary. Is that you, Mary?
Yes?
Well, we've got to change our clothes and finish our packing.
It won't take me long.
Can I help you pack?
Clarence! Clarence, why didn't you kneel in church today?
What, Mother?
Why didn't you kneel in church today?
I just couldn't.
Well, is it because of Mary? I know she's Methodist.
Oh, no, Mother. Methodists kneel, Mary told me. They don't get up and down as much, but they do stay down longer.
Is it because your father doesn't kneel? Well, Clarence, you must remember that your father wasn't brought up to kneel. But you were, and you always have, and you want to, don't you, Clarence?
Yes, I want to. I started to. You saw me start. But I just couldn't.
Is it the suit of your father's? Is it too tight for you?
No, it's not that. It fits fine. But it is a suit. Very peculiar things have happened to me since I started to wear it. I haven't been myself since I put it on.
What do you mean?
Mother, I can't make these clothes do anything Father wouldn't do.
Clarence! You in church is a sacrilege.
Trying to make Father's trousers kneel is more of a sacrilege. Remember the first night I wore this? I was at Dora Wakefield's party for Mary. Do you know what happened? We were playing musical chairs and Dora Wakefield sat down suddenly right on my lap. I jumped up so fast she almost got hurt.
But it was perfectly innocent, wasn't it?
It wasn't that Dora was sitting on my lap. She was sitting on Father's trousers. Mother, I've got to have a suit of my own.
My soul and body. Oh, you'll have to talk to your father. But Clarence, if you do it tactfully, you know, I'm sure he'll understand. Excuse me. Oh, gracious, are you all packed?
Practically, I never put my common brush in until I'm ready to close my bag.
Well, I have to go up and check on the box lunch with Margaret. I'll just leave the two of you alone. But remember, it's Sunday.
I was hoping we could see each other before you left.
Cora had so many things to do. I wanted to get out of the way.
You didn't want to see me, didn't you?
I didn't want to tell you how much I've enjoyed our friendship.
Then you're going to write me when you get to Springfield, aren't you?
Of course, if you write first.
Well, you'll have to have something to write about. Your trip, Aunt Judith, and how things are in Springfield. You write me as soon as you get there.
Maybe I'll be too busy. Maybe I won't have time.
You find the time. Let's not have any nonsense about that. You write me as soon as you get there.
How do you know I'll take orders from you?
I'll show you. Give me your hand.
Why should I?
Give me your hand, confound it.
What do you want with my hand?
I just wanted it. What are you thinking about?
I was just thinking.
About what?
Well, when we were talking about writing each other, I was hoping you'd write first. Because that would mean you liked me.
Well, I don't see how writing first has got to do with liking you.
Oh, you do like me?
Yes, I like her better than any girl I've ever met.
But not well enough to write first.
Well, I don't see how one thing's got to do with the other.
But a girl can't write first because she's a girl.
Well, if the girl's got something to write about and the fella hasn't, there's no reason why she shouldn't write first.
You know, the first few days I was here, you'd do anything for me. Then you changed. You used to be a lot of fun. Then all of a sudden you turned into an old sober side.
When did I?
Well, the first time I noticed it was when we walked home from Dora Wakefield's party. Ma, you were on your dignity. You've been that way ever since. You even dress like an old sober sides. What's the matter?
I just remembered something.
Oh, I know. This is the last time we'll be together.
Mary, please.
But Clarence, we'll see each other in a month. And we'll be writing each other, too. I hope we will. Oh, Clarence, please write me first. That will show me how much you like me. I'll show you how much I like you.
Get up! Get up! Oh, don't do that, Mary. Please don't do that.
Now you'll think I'm just a fallen forward girl.
No!
Yes, you will. You'll think I'm full.
No, it's not that.
Was it because it's Sunday?
It would be the same any day.
Oh, you just didn't want me sitting on your lap.
Well, it was nice of you to do it.
It was nice of me. So you told me to get up? You just couldn't bear to have me sit there. Well, you needn't write me first. You needn't write me any letters at all, because I'll tear them without opening them. I guess now I know you don't like me. I never want to see you again.
Clarence, that young girl's crying. What's the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, Father. It's all my fault.
Nonsense! What's that girl trying to do to you?
Father, how long have you been there?
Clarence, I don't know what the quarrel was about, but it looked to me like you were holding your own.
Father, I've got to have a new suit of clothes. You've got to give me the money for it.
Clarence, do you realize you're addressing your father?
I'm sorry, Father. I apologize.
Clarence, does your need for a new suit have anything to do with that young lady?
Yes, sir.
Clarence, I'm surprised.
Of what, sir?
Why, you being so grown up and all. Why, I might have known that you'll be going to school this fall, that you'll be meeting girls. Now, Clarence, there are some things about women I think you ought to know. You may as well learn them from me as have you learn them for yourself. Now, girls aren't the angels that you think they are. Let me explain. Well, men have to run this world, and it's not an easy job. They have to think, and they have to use reason and logic. And a woman thinks, no confounded, she doesn't think at all. She just gets stirred up. Gets stirred up about the most confounded things. Why, you know that I love your mother just about as much as any man. One thing that I won't stand for, why, no, I won't stand for a bunch of folderol.
Stand for what, Father?
Oh, I won't submit myself. You know, if a man thinks the thing he needs to do is right, he ought to do it. If he thinks the thing he needs to do is wrong, he should do it. Now, that has no bearing as to whether you love them or whether you don't.
I see what you mean so far, Father. If you don't watch yourself, love can make you do things you don't want to do.
Exactly.
But if you do watch yourself and know just how to handle women,
Well, then you'll be all right. You know, just like you've got to be firm, just like I've got to be firm with your mother about this month's household accounts.
But Father, what can you do when they cry?
Well, that's a good question, Clarence. You just have to help them to understand that what you're doing for them is for their own good.
I see.
Now, Clarence, I told you all that you need to know about women.
But Father,
So what?
weren't you going to tell me about,
About what?
well, about women?
Now, Clarence, there's something that gentlemen don't discuss. I told you all you need to know about women. The thing for you to remember is be firm.
Excuse me.
Good heavens!
What's the matter, Claire? What's wrong?
I won't send this person a check.
Well, that's the only hat I bought since March, and it was marked down for $40.
Well, it's not the matter that you bought a hat or how much you paid for it, but the person from whom you bought it from. Why, this Mademoiselle Mimi isn't fit to be in the hat business or any other business.
Well, it's the first time I've been to her little shop, and it seemed like a very nice shop, and I don't see what you object to.
What I object to her is that she doesn't use her name. Mimi what? Mimi O'Brien? Mimi Jones? Mimi Weinstein?
Well, I don't know. It's just Mimi.
It can't be just Mimi. Why, I wouldn't pay a check payable to just Jimmy or just Charlie, and I won't pay one to just Mimi. Now, find out what her last name is, and I'll pay her the money.
All right. All right.
Just a minute, Penny. I'm not through.
But, Claire, Cora will be leaving in just a few minutes.
Never mind, Cora. Come and sit down.
But it isn't polite for me to be down here this long.
Just sit down, Penny. You know that I like to live well, and I like my family to live well, too. That's why I insist on this household being run on a sound business basis. I must know how much of money I'm spending and for what. Now, if you recall, a week ago I gave you $6 to buy me a new coffee pot.
Yes, because you broke the old one. You threw it right on the floor.
Never mind it. I'm not talking. I'm just merely endeavoring
And
to...
it was so silly to break that little coffee pot. It was made the same as it always was. The coffee was perfectly fine that morning.
It was not. It was made in a confound barbaric manner.
But I couldn't get another imported one. That little shop that carried them said the tariff wouldn't let them. And that's your fault too, Claire, because you're always voting to raise the tariff.
Now, the tariff protects America against cheap foreign labor. Now, I find among my bills...
That tariff does nothing but raise the prices, and that's hard on everybody, especially the farmers.
I wish to heaven you wouldn't talk about things you know very little about.
You too know about them. Miss Gulick says that every intelligent woman should have some opinion.
Now, who, may I ask, is Miss Goody?
Oh, Claire, you know she's the current pretty fence lady I told you about, and she charges $1 every Tuesday.
Now, you mean to tell me that a bunch of idle-minded females pay $1 apiece to listen to another female? Why, listen to me if you want to know about the events of the day.
But Claire, you always get so upset. And besides, Miss Bullock says the president, whom you were always belittling, prays or guides.
Benny, what happened to that $6?
What $6?
Well, I gave you $6 to buy me a coffee pot. Now I find out that you did. You got one of Lewis and Concord, and you charged it. Here's their bill. One coffee pot, $5.
That's $1 you owe me, and you can hand it over right now.
I'll do nothing of the kind. What did you do with that $6?
Well, Claire, how do I know? Why didn't you ask me at the time?
For heaven's sakes!
Oh, wait a minute. I did spend $4.50 for an umbrella I wanted, and you said I didn't need, but I did very much.
Now we're getting somewhere. One umbrella, $4.50.
And that must have been the week that I paid Mrs. Tolan for 2 extra days washing.
Mrs. Toll,
$2.
$2.
That's $6.50. That's another 50 cents you owe me.
I don't owe you anything. What you owe me is an explanation where money's gone to. Now we're going to go over this account book item by item.
Well, Claire, I do the best I can to keep down expenses. And you know yourself that Cousin Phoebe spends twice as much as we do.
Confound Cousin Phoebe, I don't want to hear how she tosses her money around.
Why, Claire, I thought you were fond of Cousin Phoebe.
Well, I am fond of Cousin Phoebe, but I'm tired of hearing about it.
Well, you talk about your own relatives enough.
Benny, that's not fair. When I talk about my relatives, I criticize them.
Well, if I can't even speak of Cousin Phoebe.
Why, you can speak of Cousin Phoebe all you want to. I won't have her or anyone else dictating to me how to run my household.
Claire, I didn't say anything about her dictating.
Oh, you said, I swear I don't know what you said. Well, you never stick to the point. Every time I endeavor to sit you down and talk about the household bills, why, you just go on gibbering and jabbering about everything else under the sun. Now, I find an item here of $32.
I don't know what you expect of me. I tire myself out every day, chasing up and down those stairs, looking after your comfort and trying to raise up our children. And I do the marketing and the mending, and then you expect me to be an expert bookkeeper, too.
Oh, Benny, I have no wish to be unreasonable. But don't you understand that what I'm doing is for your own good?
Oh!
I suppose I'll have to go on out just making out the bills, hoping that the bank has enough money in it to pay them and cover them. Oh, it gets so discouraging.
I'll try to do it.
Benny, that's all I'm asking. Well, I'll go upstairs and I'll make out the checks and I'll sign them. Oh, Benny, do you think I have any right to sign those checks at all? After all, on the side of the Lord, I don't have any name.
That's right, Claire. You'll have to be baptized in order to make those checks good.
Well, I don't think the bank cares whether I'm baptized or not.
Well, Claire, I care. In spite of what Dr. Lloyd said, I'm not sure we're really married.
Oh, Benny, we've got 4 children. If we're not married now, we never will be.
Claire, you just don't seem to realize the importance of this whole thing. You've got to do something about it.
Well, I've got to do something about these confounded bills you front.
Not before you pay me the $1.50.
What $1.50?
The $1.50 you owe me.
I don't owe you $1.50.
You certainly do.
Oh, Benny, I gave you $6 to buy a coffee pot for me, and somehow it turned into an umbrella for you.
Clarence Day, how can you quibble about $1.50 when your immortal soul is in danger? And what's more?
Oh, all right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Thank you, Claire, dear. Now our accounts are all straight again.
Father, you never did tell me. May I have an issue of clothes?
Oh, Clarence, I've got to be firm with you, too.
John, come here a minute.
What do you want?
John, have you got any money you could lend me?
With this week's allowance, I have about $3.
That's not enough. I've got to have enough to buy a new suit of clothes.
Well, why don't you earn some money? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy me a bicycle. One of those new low kinds, the kinds with both wheels the same size. You know, a safety.
How are you going to earn that much?
I've got a job, practically. Look, I found this ad in the paper. Wanted, an energetic young man to handle household necessity. Sells on site. Liberal commissions.
Liberal commissions. By 312 West 14th Street on Tuesday from 8 till 12. Listen, John, let me have that job.
Why should I give you my job? They're hard to get, you know.
But I've got to have a new suit of clothes.
Maybe I could get a job for both of us. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask the man.
Benny, Cora, the cab's here. Hurry up.
Listen, John, we both got to be down there early Tuesday, the first thing.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm going alone.
But, John...
But I'll put in a good word with the boss about you.
They'll be right out. What's the matter with those women? Don't they know that cabs cost money? John, you go hurry them down. Clarence, you run up and find out what the infernal delay is.
Here they come, Father.
Goodbye, Mr. Day. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your hospitality.
Oh, not at all, not at all.
Goodbye, Clara.
We can say our goodbyes out on the sidewalk, Cora.
Oh, Claire, there's no rush. The train doesn't leave until 10:30.
All they can do, they're waiting in the Grand Central Depot. They've got a waiting room just for that. Now, cabs cost money.
If there's one thing Mr. Day can't stand, is to keep a cab waiting.
Goodbye, Clarence. It's been so nice seeing you again.
Here's your
Oh,
lunch.
let me have it. Let's get going.
Where's John?
He's out on the sidewalk.
Mary, aren't you going to shake hands with me?
I don't believe I'd better. You may remember that when I get too close to you, you feel contaminated.
Well, you're going to write me when you get to Springfield, aren't you?
Are you going to write first?
No, Mary. There are times when a man must be firm.
Mary, Mother says you'd better hurry out before Father starts yelling. It's Sunday. Goodbye, John. I'm happy to have made your acquaintance.
Dear Mary. Never mind, you're supposed to know.
You forgot the sugar. It goes here between me and Father.
Good morning, boys. John not down yet? John, hurry down for breakfast.
John had his breakfast early, Father. We're going to have to say about something.
See about what?
Well, John and I thought we'd work this summer, earn some extra money.
Good. Sit down, boys.
John saw an ad in the paper. We're going to have to say about it.
Why didn't you go?
Well, I was expecting an answer to a letter I wrote. It didn't come. Here's the mail.
What kind of work are you boys planning on doing?
Sort of a salesman, Dad said.
That's good. Work never hurt anybody. You better work hard. Where's your mother?
Oh, if you please, sir. Mrs. Day wouldn't be wanting any breakfast. Oh, she's not a bit well. So she went back upstairs to lie down again.
Why does your mother do that to me? She knows that whenever she doesn't come down to breakfast, it upsets my whole day. Clarence, you go upstairs and tell your mother I'll be up to visit her before I start for the office.
Yes, sir.
What's the matter with Mother?
Nothing's the matter with your mother. Perfectly healthy woman. If she gets an ache or a twinge, instead of being firm about it, she just gives in to it. You boys better go up after breakfast and find out what your mother would like to have you do around here. When do you look after Harlan?
Yes, Father. Special delivery, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Was that the postman again?
There's special delivery.
Yes, where is it?
This for Father.
I don't understand this at all. Here's a letter from some woman I've never heard of. This woman claims she sat on my lap. What's that word? Hold that one down here.
It looks like curiosity.
I opened your letter only as a matter of curiosity. Oh, this gets worse and worse. This just turns into a lot of sentimental lovey-dovey mush. Is this someone's idea of a practical joke? Well, I don't know why I always have to be the butt of a practical joke.
What's wrong?
Just some fool letter. Vinny, how are you feeling?
I'm not feeling well, Claire. thought you needed me, but if you don't, I'm going back
Now
to
that you're
bed.
down here, why don't you come and have some breakfast with us? Get some food in your stomach, it'll do you good.
I don't feel like eating anything.
Well, that's all the more reason why you ought to eat. Builds up your strength. Now, what's this one's name?
Nora.
Nora, bring some bacon and eggs to Mrs. Day.
Oh, no, Nora, I don't even want to smell it. Take it away.
Oh, Vinny, it's just weakness to give into an ailment. What you need is strength of character.
Well, I don't know why you object to my complaining a little. I notice when you have a headache, you yell and groan and swear enough.
Of course I yell. It's just to prove to the headache that I'm stronger than it is. Why, I can swear one right out of my system.
I think I've caught some kind of germ. There's a lot of germs going around. And some of my friends have even had to send for the doctor, and I may have the same thing.
Oh, Vinny, you think of some of your friends going around town and getting sick in some disease and send for the doctor? You take your bed and send for the doctor will poppycock.
Claire, when people are seriously ill, you have to do something.
Of course you gotta do something. Cheer them up. That's the way to cure them.
And how would you go about cheering them up?
Why, I'd tell them, bah!
Oh, hush up, Claire. Don't give me your other. I don't want you to move what she saw. Oh, Whitney, if you're through with breakfast, dear, would you please take the recipe of Margaret's over to Mrs. Whitehead? Margaret has it all written out. And take Harlan with you.
All right, Mother. I hope you feel better.
Oh, Vinny, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm just trying to help. When you take your bed, it becomes the darn only place around here. You get in your head that you're sick, I just want to do something about it. Why, just because some of these friends of yours give into this, it's no reason for you to imagine that you're sick.
Oh, Claire, just get out of here. Go to the office.
I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Mother.
I'll be all right. I had a touch of this last fall, remember? And the next day I felt better. Don't worry about it.
Do you want me to get the doctor?
Oh, no. The doctor's upset your father, so I don't want him to be upset.
Do you want me to get anything?
Well, you could give me a cup of tea. Ask Margaret to bring it up, and I'll try to drink that.
Do you mind if John and I go somewhere this morning, or will you need us?
No, Clarence, you run along. I just want to be left alone.
Nora, will you take a cup of tea if Mrs. Day in her room, please?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the job?
Yes, for both of us.
What is
I have
it?
it with me. Medicine.
Medicine? You got a job for us to sell medicine?
Yes, but it's wonderful medicine. Bartlett's beneficent balm, a boon to mankind. Look what it cures.
Sovereign cure, colds, coughs, catarrh, asthma, fluency, sore throat, poor digestion, complaints, copia, dyspepsia, heartburn, shortness of breath, lumbago, rheumatism, heart disease, giddiness, women's complaints, nervous frustration, St. Vitus stance, giddiness, the grip, cramped flesh, pink eye, seasickness, and pimples.
See?
That sounds all right.
It's made from a secret formula, only known to Dr. Bartlett.
You must be quite a doctor.
It sells for $1 a bottle, and we get 25 cents commission on every bottle.
And where does he want to sell it?
He's given us the territory of all Manhattan Island.
That's bully. Anybody that's sick ought to need a bottle of this stuff. Let's start by calling my friends of father and mother.
Hey, that's a good idea. But wait a minute, suppose Dad says we've used it in our house.
Yes, it would be nice if you could say we did.
But we can't, because we haven't had it here long enough.
Oh, is that tea for Mrs. A? You needn't bother, I'll give it after.
Oh, thank you. Now take it out while it's good and hot.
Mother wasn't feeling well this morning.
What was wrong with her?
I don't know, she was just complaining.
Well, it says here it's good for women's complaints. Woo.
father come yet?
Not yet.
Oh, glory be. Oh, Nora, hurry along with that. The doctor's waiting for it. And Nora, you see if there's anything else you can do. I've got to go out.
Oh, where are you going?
I've got to go to the minister.
There's a cab from Hawkins Street.
Oh, I hope it's your father, poor man. Oh, but if it's a cab, it's not likely to be your father.
Yes, it's Father. Whitney got him all right. What took you so long?
Long? I was long. I went right down the other thing and got Father right away. We came all the way back up to the cab.
I thought you were never coming.
Well, the person go very fast at first had his whip and swore and took his job. Then Father spoke to the horn. How's Mother?
I don't know if the doctor's up there now.
Well, she better be good and sit Father like a mountain, bringing him all the way up here, especially in a cab.
Confound it! Why doesn't somebody ever show me any consideration? Don't they know that I got some feelings too?
Mother's gonna get well, isn't she?
I don't know, Whitney. They wouldn't allow me in the same room with her.
Who put you out? The doctor?
Oh, your mother. You boys better be quiet around here today.
Father, if Mother's sick, will you be mad at me for bringing you all the way up here?
Whitney, I wouldn't. Nobody ever tells me anything in this house.
Mrs. Day is quieter now.
Doctor, do you have any information about her? What's the matter with her?
Mr. Day, your wife is a mighty sick woman. I gave her a sedative just before you arrived. And after you left the room, I had to give her another one. You have a telephone here.
A telephone? No, I don't believe in them. Why?
Well, it would just save me a few steps. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Now, doctor, what's the matter?
What did your wife have for breakfast today?
Not a thing. Nothing.
Are you sure?
Well, I tried to get her to eat, but she wouldn't.
I can't understand it.
Understand what?
These are violent attacks of nausea. It's almost as though she were poisoned.
What?
I'll try not to be gone longer than 10 or 15 minutes.
Now, really, doctor. These doctors think they know a lot, but they don't. He doesn't get your mother well pretty soon. He's going to hear from me.
When Mother's in bed, it's lonesome.
Yes, it sure is lonesome, Harlan. Now, what were you boys supposed to do around here today?
I was to learn the rest of my catechism.
Was that what your mother would like to have you do?
I know it. I think.
Well, you better be sure.
I can't be sure unless somebody hears me. Will you hear me, Father?
Yes, I'll hear you, Whitney.
If Mother's so sick, will you read to me tonight?
Yes, I'll read to you, Harlan.
It is, Father, just the end of it. Mother knows it the rest. Look, start here.
How many parts are there in the sacrament?
2. The outward visible sign and the inward spiritual grace.
What's the outward visible sign or form of baptism?
Water, where the person is baptized. Father, you haven't been baptized, have you?
What is the inward and spiritual grace?
If you don't have to be baptized, what do I have to be confirmed?
What is the inward and spiritual grace?
Like death into sin and new birth into righteousness, we're in by nature born in sin and the children of wrath, we're hereby made the children of grace. Is that why you do that so much, Father?
Whitney!
Child of wrath?
Whitney, mind your manners! You're not supposed to be asking questions of your elders. What is required for a person to be baptized?
Repentance, work by...
You don't know this well enough, Whitney. You better study some more.
Now,
No, you don't have to do it now. Now, let's see. What were you boys going to do again?
I was going to work on a tool chest in the backyard.
Well, I don't want any hammering with your mother being sick upstairs.
I was hammering, I was wood carving.
Well, Harlan, would you like to play me a game of Tiddlywinks?
I was helping Whitney.
Oh, all right. You boys better quit your shouting out here, or I'll have to be quiet around here today.
Yes, Father.
Margaret! Margaret! Margaret, why don't you answer me when you hear me calling? Shh!
Mr. Day! Mrs. Day's very sick. We've all got to try and be quiet up here.
I know, that's why I was calling for you. I want you to be up by your room. Where were you doing out of the house anyway?
I was sent to the minister.
The minister?
He's outside now, paying off the cab.
Oh, Mr. Day, I was shocked when I heard about your wife's condition. I hope I can be of some service. Will you take me to her?
She's resting out. She can't be disturbed.
But I was summoned.
The doctor said he'd be back in just a minute. Why don't you just sit and wait?
Thank you. Oh, your wife was such a pillar of strength in the parish. Everyone spoke so highly of her. Oh, she was a fine woman.
I wish to heavens you wouldn't talk as though you were already dead.
Mr. Day, is the doctor back yet?
No, does she need him?
Restless, sir. She's talking in her sleep. Oh, twisted and turned.
He said he'd be right back.
The doctor's here. I was watching from the window. Oh, come in, doctor.
Thank you, Margaret.
Well, that was a pretty long 10 minutes.
See here. If I'm to be responsible for Mrs. Day's health, I have to handle this case in my own way.
You can't handle it if you're out of the house.
I left this house because I was concerned about Mrs. Day's condition and felt that a consultation was warranted. I hope this meets with your approval, sir.
Well, of course, anything that can be done.
Mr. Day, don't worry now. She's in good hands, and there's nothing more that you and I can do at the time to help.
Dr. Lloyd, there's something that's troubling Mrs. Day's mind. I think you know what I refer to.
Well, yes, I think it's the fact that you've never been baptized.
Well, I gathered you knew about that from your sermon last Sunday. No use getting angry. Something that can be done about it.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And when that doctor gets through up there, there's something I'd like you to go and tell Mrs. Day.
Well, I'll be glad to.
She would believe you, and you're just the man to do it. I'd like you to go up and tell her it'd be a bunch of infernal nonsense for me to be baptized.
Mr. Day!
Well, she would believe you, and we got to do anything we can now to help her.
Mr. Day, baptism is a sacrament of the church.
You're her minister, and you're responsible for her peace of mind.
Mr. Day, the solution is very simple. It would only take your consent to be baptized.
That's out of the question. Why, I'm surprised that a grown man like you would consider such a thing.
If your wife's peace of mind is really your concern, don't you think that being baptized...
Oh, doctor, do you have anything else for you? Margaret, what are you doing out of upstairs? Get back up there.
I've got something to do for the doctor. I'll go straight up as soon as I've
Well, then hurry up.
And doctor, come this way.
Dr. Finney isn't serious, is she?
We will do everything that is humanly possible.
Finney is serious. If anybody could help her, he could, don't you think?
He's a fine physician, but there is ever a greater source of help that always available to us. Let us turn to him now in prayer. Let us kneel and pray. Let us kneel and pray. O Lord, look down upon this thy servant who is grieved with illness. Visit and relieve her. Extend unto her thy accustomed goodness. Oh, have mercy on this miserable sinner.
She is not a miserable sinner, and you know it. Finney's a fine person, and she shouldn't be made to suffer. Oh, have mercy on her. Let this thing stop. Have mercy on her, I say. Have mercy.
What's wrong?
Finney, what are you doing down here? You shouldn't be out of bed.
Claire, I heard you call. Do you need me?
Oh, Finney, I know how much I need you now. I'll do anything. I'll be baptized. I promise I'll be baptized.
You will?
Yes, and we can go to Europe, just we two, and... oh, Finney.
Oh, Mr. Day, she'll be all right now. Bless you for what you've done.
What did I do?
You promised to be baptized.
Oh, good heavens!
You wish to speak to me, Mum?
Yes, Margaret, about tomorrow morning's breakfast. We must plan it very carefully.
Oh, Mr. Day hasn't complained to me about his breakfast lately. As a matter of fact, with bless him and love.
Well, it's nothing like that, Margaret. It's just that I would like to surprise Mr. Day.
Oh, surprising Mr. Day is always a bit of a risk, Mum. My motto about him is leave well enough alone.
Well, what if we select something that he especially likes? What do you say to kippers?
Yes. I've served him kippers before, Mum, but I can't recall him saying he likes them.
Has he ever said he didn't like them?
I never got a stamp on the floor one way or the other.
Well, if Mr. Day doesn't say he doesn't like a thing, we can assume he does like it. Let's try kippers, Margaret.
Yes, Mum.
Oh, and Margaret, be sure to have enough for 2 extra places.
Oh, so that's
visitors again? Yes, my cousin, Miss Cartwright, and her friend Mary Skinner. They're coming here tomorrow from Springfield, and I'm afraid they're going to arrive right at breakfast time.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll be making some of her Sunday morning hot biscuits.
Yes, we know he likes those.
I've had him going to church on them for the past 15 years.
Here it is, Mother.
It was still in the store. They hadn't sold it. I'm so relieved. Didn't you enjoy it?
Well, it is unusual.
It was the day before I got sick, and I was walking through the bric-a-brac section, and it caught my eye. I can't imagine it still being in the store after all this time, but someone didn't snatch it up. Oh, isn't it the cutest thing you ever saw? And it does need a ribbon, though. I have just the thing somewhere.
Isn't John home yet?
I haven't seen him, dear. Why?
Well, you know I've been working, and John went out to collect our money.
That's nice. Oh, thanks. I have a surprise for just the two of us. Guess who's coming tomorrow to visit? Cousin Cora and Mary.
Yes, I know.
Oh, how do you know?
I happened to receive a letter.
John, isn't this the sweetest thing you ever saw?
What is it?
Well, it's perfectly clear what it is. It's a China doll. Your father would never let me have a real one, but you can't object to my having one made out of China. The ribbon does need pressing. I'll have Margaret do it right away.
What did you bring more medicine for? Dr. Bartlett paid us off, didn't he?
Yes.
I had me worried there for a minute. When I went down to McCurry's to pick up the pug dog for Mother, I saw the daisiest suit you ever saw. The suit was only $15, and Dr. Bartlett owed us $16 each. Isn't that lucky? Come on, give me my money.
Clarence, Dr. Bartlett paid us off in medicine.
What? You let him pay us off that hoping it's a bone?
Well, he thanked us, too, for our services to mankind.
Well, what about me? I belong to mankind. What about my suit?
I'm afraid you're going to have to wait for your suit.
But I can't wait. They're making the alterations. I've got to have it paid for this afternoon. $15.
Offer him 15 bottles of medicine.
They won't take it. The Currys don't sell medicine.
That's too bad. Here comes Father.
I have to raise Father for $15. I don't want to, but I've got to. That's all it's got.
I'm not going to be here when you do. I've got to hide this somewhere anyway.
Good afternoon, sir.
Clarence, where's your mother and how is she?
She's all right. She's with Margaret.
Benny, I'm home.
Father, Mother will be well enough to go to church with us next Sunday.
That's fine, Clarence, that's fine.
Father, have you noticed that I haven't been kneeling down in church lately?
Well, don't let your mother catch you at it.
Then I've got to have a new suit of clothes.
Clarence, you're not making any sense.
Well, a fellow doesn't feel right in cut-down clothes, especially your clothes. That's why I can't go down to church. I can't do anything in them you wouldn't do.
Well, if my clothes make you to behave yourself, why, you shouldn't wear anything else.
No, you're you and I'm me, and I've got to do things my way. Besides, there are things that I've got to do that I wouldn't do at your age.
Clarence, you shouldn't do anything that I wouldn't do.
Well, suppose I should want to kneel down in front of a girl.
What in the heaven's name would you want to do that for?
Well, I've got to get married sometime. I've got to propose to a girl sometime.
Well, Clarence, by the time you're ready to get married, I hope you're earning your money for your own clothes. Why, if you think I'm going to support you and your wife, too, Clarence, at your age.
Well, I won't be getting married right away. But for $15, I can buy a nice suit of clothes.
Now, Clarence, you're beginning to sound as crazy as your mother. Oh, hello, Benny. How are you?
Just fine, dear. But you don't have to hurry home like this from the office every day.
The way business has been, no use being at the office at all.
You haven't been to your club for weeks.
Oh, I can't stand the place. You do look better. What have you been doing?
Well, I took a long walk today, and I stopped to call on Mrs. Whitefield.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, it was the most fortunate thing that happened. You'll be so surprised. Guess who was there? Mr. Morley.
Morley?
You know that nice young minister that substituted for Dr. Lloyd one Sunday?
Yeah, a bright young man. Preached a sensible sermon, too.
It was the only time I ever saw you put $5 in the plate.
Well, there ought to be more ministers like that. Well, I could get along with that young man without any trouble at all.
Well, Claire, his parish is up in Audubon. You know, way up there above Harlem.
Is that so?
Yes, and no one knows you up there. You'll be perfectly safe.
Penny, what in the devil are you talking about?
I talked the whole thing over with Mr. Morning, and he's agreed to baptize you.
Well, he has, the young whippersnapper.
Oh, Claire, you can go up there any morning, and you won't even have to make an appointment.
Penny, you're making a lot of plans for nothing. Who said I was going to be baptized?
Why, Claire, you did.
Oh, Benny.
You stood right there on that spot and you said, I promise I'll be baptized. I promise.
What if I did?
Well, aren't you a man of your word?
Oh, Benny, that was under entirely different circumstances. Why, we all thought you were dying, and I just merely said that to cheer you up.
Clarence Day, you gave me your sacred and solemn promise.
Well, the doctor says that's what cured you, and it seems to me you're being mighty ungrateful to pursue this any further.
Claire, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I'm well or sick. You gave me your word. You gave the Lord your word. Is that all right, Mrs. Day? Yes, Margaret, that's fine. Clarence Day, if you'd just seen how eager he was to bring you into the fold. And you're going up. Claire, you're going up with me, and you're going to be baptized in the morning.
What in heaven's name is that?
Claire, we're not talking about that. Listen to me.
I demand to know what that repulsive object is.
It's perfectly clear that it is. It's a China doll.
And what's it doing in this house?
I wanted it and I bought it.
You paid good money for that?
Claire, we're not talking about that. Don't change the subject.
Now, how much did it cost?
I don't know. I sent Clarence for it.
And Clarence, how much did you pay for it?
I didn't pay anything for it. I charged it.
Charges! I might have known! And how much did it cost?
$15.
$15 for that eyesore?
Don't you call that lovely work of art an eyesore? It will look beautiful sitting on a cushion by the fireplace in the parlor.
Well, if that sits in the parlor, I won't. Matter of fact, I won't be in the same house with it. Now, get it out of here.
Claire, you're just using this as an excuse. And you're not leaving this room until you set your date for baptism.
Well, I won't be baptized as long as that hideous monstrosity is in this house.
All right. All right. This China doll goes back this afternoon, and your father is christened first thing in the morning. Now, Clarence, I want you to take this to the store, and you be sure that they credit you for $15.
Oh, Mother. While I was down at McCreary's, I happened to see a suit I liked very much. The suit was only $15.
Oh, Clarence, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait for your new suit till I get your father christened.
No, I meant that since the suit costs just the same as the China dog, if I exchanged the China dog for the suit,
It wouldn't cost your father anything.
I better get down to McCreary's before they close.
Oh, Sarah, we're going all the way to Audubon. We can't walk. You stop by and order a cab for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
A cab. Mother, do you think you ought to?
Well, we can't walk to Audubon.
Okay, a Broom or Victoria.
Make it one of their best cabs, the kind they use at funerals.
Mother, those are $2 an hour, and if Father gets mad.
If Father says one word, you remember, you were here and you heard him.
Yes, we both heard him.
Every daisy in the dell knows my secret. I hope you noticed Clarence has taken the China dog back.
Well, that's a sign you're getting your fabulous back.
Well,
Hey, it's good to hear you singing again. On my way uptown, I stopped in at Tiffany's and I brought a little something for you. I hope that you do like it.
Oh, Claire! Oh, that's beautiful!
I'm glad you like it, Lavina.
Claire, I don't know how to thank you.
Oh, it's thanks enough just having you up and around. Why, when you take your bed, this house is like a tomb. No excitement.
Oh, Claire, this is the most beautiful ring you've ever bought me. Now that I have this, you needn't buy me any more rings.
Well, if you don't want any more.
What I'd really like now is a diamond necklace.
Benny, did you know what a diamond necklace costs?
I know.
Good heavens! After all these years, you don't know what you mean to me? Why, we've been married 20 years. I've loved you every minute of it.
What did you say?
I said we've been married 20 years and I've loved you every minute of it. But if I had to go on buying out jewelry stores just to prove it, well, I haven't proved it by my words and actions. Oh, what did I do now?
Oh, Claire. I'm just so happy.
Happy?
You told me you loved me. And then you bought me this beautiful ring. That's something else I never expected. Oh, Claire, I just love surprises.
Benny, that's something I've never understood about you. Now, I like to know what to expect, and then I'm better prepared to meet it.
Oh, I know, dear, but life would be pretty dull if we always knew what was coming.
Well, it's certainly not dull around here. Why, you never know what's going to hit you in this house tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Every day you see in the dell knows my secret, knows it well, and yet I dare not tell. Sweet Marie, sweet Marie,
Sweet Marie,
sweet Marie,
sweet Marie,
and yet I dare not tell.
sweet Marie.
She says she'll be right down.
Thank you, Nora. You know, boys, your mother used to be the same about cooks as she is about maids. Never could keep them around for some reason. Why, I remember about 15 years ago. Why, yes, John, that was when you were a baby. Oh, my, you were a homely baby. Why, I came home late from the office one night. There was no dinner. The cook had left. Well, I'd had about had enough of that. So I decided I was going to take matters in my own hands. So I marched on down to the employment agency and I talked to that woman in charge and I said, I want to cook. And she tried to put me through a whole bunch of red tape folderol. So I just went on into the room where the girls were waiting and I pointed to Margaret and I said, I'll take that one. And she marched on home and cooked my dinner and been with us ever since. You know, she's a mighty darn good cook, too.
Good morning, Claire.
Oh, good morning, Benny.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Have a seat, Benny. Sit down, boys. What's everybody all dressed up for? What's on the program?
Well, May Lewis's mother is giving a party for May's dancing class, and Harlan's going to that.
Mother, I don't want to go.
Well, don't you want to go to a party, Harlan, and get ice cream and cake?
May Lewis always tries to kiss me.
Oh, Harlan, you won't have to worry about that when you're a little older. You wouldn't mind it. Would he, Clarence?
What's Swanson?
Margaret, these kippers are good. I'm glad you remembered that I like them. They're good.
Yes, sir.
What's got into Margaret? You know, hot biscuits, too.
Well, Claire, she knows how fond you are of them. Now, I wonder who that could be. The postman has already been here.
Well, you know, Clarence has been getting a lot of special deliveries lately. Clarence, how's that business deal going?
This is for you, Mr. Day. Where shall I put it?
That's for me. Take it up to my room, please.
Nora, let me see it.
See, it's for me, Father. Clarence Day, Jr.
Well, it's from McCreary's and it's marked charge. What is it?
It's all right, Claire. It's nothing for you to worry about.
Well, it's marked charge and I at least know what's being charged to me.
Claire, stop your fussing. It's a new suit of clothes for Clarence, and it isn't costing you a penny.
Oh, Benny, please explain yourself.
Can't you take my word for it? It isn't costing you a penny.
Well, it says charge $15. It's costing me $15.
No, Claire. Clarence took the China dog back and got the suit instead.
Well, then they're going to charge me $15 for the suit.
Oh, nonsense, Claire. He exchanged the China dog for the suit, don't you see?
And they're going to charge me $15 for the China dog.
Claire, they can't. We haven't got the China dog.
something wrong with your reasoning.
It's perfectly clear to me. You're always so good at figures, I'm surprised at you.
Benny, they're going to charge you for one thing or the other?
Well, don't you let them.
The Currys aren't giving away China dogs, and they're not giving away suits either. Oh, no, no, don't anybody answer the door.
What is it, Claire?
Those women are back.
What women?
Well, that Cora and that little idiot. They're moving in on us again, bag and baggage.
Now, Claire, that we could turn our own relatives.
Let them go in that cab all the way to Ohio if they're extravagant enough to take cab, and horse cars go right by our door.
Now, Claire, you behave yourself. They're here and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, why do they always pounce on us without any warning? The gypsies.
Vinny, Cora.
Oh, how are you? We've been so worried about you.
It's so good to see both of you again. Come in. Make yourself at home. Harlan, sit with me. And Cousin Claire. Here we are again. And John.
Hello, Cousin Cora.
Where's Clarence?
Yes, where is Clarence?
Oh, John, run upstairs and tell Clarence that Cousin Cora and Mary are here.
Yes, Mother.
Well, you're just in time to have breakfast with us.
Oh, no, we had breakfast at the depot.
Oh, well, as a matter of fact, we had just finished.
Well, I haven't finished my breakfast yet.
Well, Claire, sit down. Don't let your kippers get cold. Margaret made kippers for us this morning, and Claire's so fond of them. Why don't we all have a seat? Maggie, or Cora. Please, Claire did that, please, Nora. Now, tell me all about Springfield.
We had a wonderful month, but tell us about you, Cousin Minnie. You must have had a terrible time.
Well, I was pretty sick, but I'm all right again now.
Do you know what it was?
Well, the doctor didn't say, but he did say that whatever it was, he had never seen anything like it.
Well, you certainly look well enough now. Doesn't she, Cousin Claire?
Good heavens!
Well, what's the matter, Claire?
John,
Yes, Father.
have you been going around this town selling medicine?
Yes, Father.
Dog medicine?
No, Father, not dog medicine.
It must have been dog medicine. Why, Mrs. Sprague writes that you sold her a bottle of this medicine, and her boy gave it to her dog and killed him. And now she wants $10 for another dog.
Well, he shouldn't have given it to a dog. It's for humans.
You mean you've been going around this neighborhood selling some of Dr. Paul Munyon's pet nostrum?
It's good medicine, Father. I can prove it by Mother.
Oh, Benny, what do you know about this?
Well, nothing, Claire.
No, I mean that day, Mother.
John, I want you to go back and buy back every bottle of that concoction you sold.
But it's $1 a bottle.
I don't care how much it was. I want you to go back and buy back. How many bottles did you sell?
128.
128 bottles? Why, John, that's $128. I'll give that to you, and I'll have to give you $10 for Mrs. Sprague's dog. That's $138. You're not going to get another penny of your allowance until that's all paid back.
But I'll be 21 years old.
Claire, you know you've always encouraged the boys to earn their own money.
Well, I'll handle this, Benny.
Of course, Aunt Judith sent her love to all of you.
Oh, I haven't seen Judith in years. We're living so close to Springfield. I'll tell you, maybe I could run up before the summer's over.
Well, she'll be leaving for Pleasantville any day now. Grandpa Evans has been failing very fast, and that's why we have to hurry back.
Hurry back. Well, surely you can stay for at least a day or two.
No, Vinny, I hate to break the news to you, but we can't even stay overnight. We're leaving on 5 o'clock train this afternoon.
Oh, what a pity.
Oh, Cora, it's certainly good to see you again. Young lady, you look like you've been taking good care of yourself. You're looking prettier than ever.
I'll bet Clarence will think so.
Why don't you, well, while you've been in Springfield, that can't be the postman. You've been in Springfield. Clarence has been getting a lot of special deliveries around here lately. Why don't you stay and have some breakfast with us?
No, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, Claire. We had our breakfast. Yes, it's the cab, Mom. Oh, the cab, thank you.
The cab? What cab?
The cab is to take us to Audubon, dear.
Now, who's going to Audubon?
We all are. Cora, the most wonderful news has happened.
What?
Claire is going to be baptized this morning.
Oh, just a minute, Vinny.
Claire, you know you promised me yesterday. You said, Vinny, as soon as that China dog goes back, I will be baptized.
I never promised no such a thing.
You certainly did.
I never said anything remotely like that.
Clarence was right here and heard you. Just ask him.
Well, I know what I said. Well, I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't that.
Well, I remember, and that's why I ordered the cab.
That cab. You send that cab right back.
I'll do no such thing, Claire. I'm going to see that you go to heaven.
Well, I can't go to heaven in a cab.
Well, you can start in a cab. They may not even let you in, Clarence Day, but I know they won't unless you're baptized.
Well, they can't keep me out of heaven on a technicality.
Oh, Claire, stop your quibbling.
Mrs. Day?
Yes, Mary.
Where do you suppose Clarence is?
Now, you stay out of this, young lady. If it hadn't been for you, they wouldn't know whether I was baptized or not. Confound it.
Whitney, Harlan, get your Sunday cap. Clarence, John.
Vinny, are you mad? Is this your plan to have these children witnesses in dignity?
Claire, they'll be proud of you.
And I am mad. Suppose that Harlan's to be my godfather. Vinny, I can't go through this. I won't, and that's final.
Well, very well, Claire, if you feel that way about it.
I do.
We won't take the children with us.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, John, Vinny, I haven't any time for anything like that this morning. I've got to take John down to the office.
You are not going anywhere, Clarence Day. You promised me the day I almost died.
Yes, and she would have died if we hadn't have given her some of that medicine. That proves it's good medicine.
You did what?
Oh, John, you didn't.
John,
Yes, we did, Mother. We put some in your tea that morning.
John, you did without her knowing. You gave her some of that medicine. Why, John, you might have killed her. You did kill Mrs. Sprague's dog. Why, John, you've done a very serious thing. I'm going to have to give considerable thought to this. Is how I'm going to punish you for this.
No, Claire, no.
Oh, yes, Benny. When that day of that dog in the house, why, Cora, we even had to send for the minister. Benny, thank heavens you're all right now. We almost lost you. Oh, you're all right now. When I think of that afternoon, what I went through, I'll never forget it.
Oh, don't you say that. You've already forgotten it.
What do you mean?
That's the day you gave me your sacred promise.
I never promised it. I would have promised that we hadn't thought you were almost dying. Why, don't you see that you would have almost died if John hadn't given you that medicine? Why, this whole thing's illegal!
Suppose I had died. It wouldn't make any difference to you. You wouldn't care if you saw us in heaven or not. You don't care if you ever see me and the children again.
Benny, you're not being fair to me.
It's perfectly all right, Claire. If you don't love us enough, there's nothing we can do about it.
Benny, you know that I love you and my children as much as any man. Why, there isn't anything that I do to you, at least within reason. Benny, you're not well enough to go to Audubon.
I'm well enough to go if we ride.
That trip would take all morning and those cabs cost $1 an hour.
Oh, no, Claire. That's one of the best cabs. It costs $2 an hour.
$2 an hour? What are you waiting for? Get your hat on!
Let's watch the stars. Mom doesn't call us watching the stars.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it. Mother, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to almost kill you.
Oh, don't you worry about what your father said. It's all right. Besides, everything turned out fine.
Mary, here comes Clarence.
Good heavens!
Claire, what's the matter? What is it?
Nothing's wrong, Mother. Nothing's wrong. Going to the office, Father.
No! I'm going to be baptized!